It's Down to Business with Jack Miller. Forget what they teach you in school. This is real life. Not Wall Street, but Main Street. A real show on what's really involved with starting and running a business, with all the ups and downs. Our guests will answer your questions and provide you with valuable information. Stay tuned and join in the conversation. Call us at 305-541-2350. Follow us on Facebook at Jack Miller Down to Business or on Twitter at HJackMiller1.
Hey, hello everyone. How are you? I hope everyone is having a fantastic day. And once again, I'm really honored to be on the air with you and to be part of your lives for this hour. Tons of stuff going on this week. We're going to jump into it. We have our commercial corner man, freshly back from vacation, Todd Cohen, and we're going to hone in and focus on due diligence in commercial real estate toward the end of the show. We're also going to have a very special guest all the way from our friendly neighbor in Canada, Kyle Kemper, and we're going to learn about Bitcoin, a kind of a fairly new thing, which I'm excited about. Should be fun to learn about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. How are you, on? Everything good?
I'm very good.
Good.
Thank you.
Good. A lot of great stuff going on. I'll tell you, this week the news has been crazy between the Iranian deal and the El Chapo. First of all, I love selling it.
El Chapo.
El Chapo. And the funny thing is I Googled what it meant. It means shorty. Or I think something like that. Short man. So I don't think anyone's calling El Chapo.
Need to get it out of little spaces.
To his face. Yeah. But what a fascinating story that is. I'm like addicted to it.
It's like prison escapes are like the thing these days.
It must be, I was thinking about it. I don't want to get too much into it because these guys sound like nuts.
Yeah.
They'll come to Miami and who knows what they'll do to me.
Yeah,
but, it's very elaborate. And you don't know what happened. They're crazy. They could have held the guards' families hostages or who knows.
Well, if you think about the two guys up in upstate New York who escaped and then you look at who this is, obviously I think he's got a better chance of escaping, although he doesn't necessarily have the seamstress in his corner. That
you would think in a maximum security prison, it's not so easy. But this guy has his own army. He has everything. And by the way, he has a very attractive wife.
Oh, there you go.
I think it's like his fourth or fifth wife. But I would definitely encourage everyone to Google the wife. Forget about him.
I wonder if he got conjugals down there.
I don't know. Okay, it's enough of that. Right. I want to applaud actually our President Obama because I usually not beat him up. I'm not in favor of a lot of his policies. But this week he brought to light a very, very important issue, which is criminal justice reform. And in fact, I think today is the first time a president is going to be at a prison talking about it. So I give him a tremendous amount of credit for that. So, I criticize him a lot, but he's really done a great job with that. I don't know about anyone else, but I was really touched by Caitlyn Jenner or Bruce Jenner's.
Caitlyn Jenner's. States, you're there.
I know.
Stay with it.
His speech at the ESPYs last night. I stood up and watched the whole thing, and I really had tears in my eyes. I don't understand a lot of it, I must confess. But, I just kept thinking about the pain that he or she must have been in for his whole life, and to come out of that in such a public way is really tremendous. It really is. And I give him a lot of credit. He's an inspiration to everyone, as well as a lot of people are. El Chapo's wife looked better than her though, but that's beside the point. Anyway, a lot of good stuff. A few weeks ago, I was infuriated here. I talked about a guy who worked for me for a couple days who I had to fire called Willie the Whiner, who just came to work, did nothing, complained, and he was in sales and looked for excuses to get out of work, and he lasted 2 weeks. Same thing happened to me this week. About 3 weeks ago, we hired an administrative assistant. She seemed good. She had all of the prerequisite experience. She was a middle-aged lady, nice and mature, except she didn't want to work. All she did was look to see how little work she could possibly do. That was her mission. Not to try to help, not to try to do anything good or positive or go above and beyond, but to look how little she could do. And I tell you, in the beginning, we knew we were going to get rid of her after 2-3 days, but I felt bad because she was dirt poor, and I wanted to give her a chance, and I talked to her once or twice. Finally, I couldn't take it anymore, and I just let her go. And I was mad because I know she needs a job desperately, and she just doesn't get that she's just lazy. And instead of saying, what can I do to help a company, she said, oh, what little work can I do? And I just see that all the time, and I'm just so infuriated by it, and it's a shame for these people. As I said before, we need to give more as a society, and if we work for someone or for our clients, we need to just constantly serve them and give. How can we help them? Not say, what can I get out of life? Everyone's always too much into me. I'm also amazed by a couple other things. You know, we put out a Craigslist ad for an administrative assistant, and we must have gotten 100 resumes. These resumes, I wonder if people think before they send them in, because half of the resumes were in Word, half of them have spelling mistakes, and I'm a bad speller, I'm dyslexic, I'm a mess. But you think they would look at them before they send them out, and you get the feeling they're just sending them out in mass. So I would advise anyone looking for a job, don't be so quick to push a button, but try to put a resume together that stands out. Put it in PDF. You know, follow up on it. Make like you want the job, not it's just you're just throwing you-know-what against the wall. So I'm just amazed at some people sometimes. I don't know why I'm amazed at this age. I should know it all. Another little bit of advice, it just irritates me. People come to work, and they don't know how to use critical programs. Todd's laughing at me because I'm going on a rampage. By the way, I've never asked my audience for anything. I need a psychiatrist or a psychologist or something like that.
You need a spiritual therapist.
I don't know what I need, but I'm always on a rampage, and I feel
probably a masseuse.
Something.
I don't know what I need.
Something that'll take you elsewhere.
This stuff.
You should rub some of those oils on
This
him.
stuff didn't bother me when I was younger.
He's got oils over there. Take a sip.
Let me tell you, Wanda knows I like the scents. In fact, you know what my favorite thing to do is? Takes Vicks Vapor Rub and put it in the room at night. I love it, but my wife hates it, and she puts some, I don't know, beautiful smelling. I wish I could describe it to everyone. It's so relaxing. If I had this
nice.
paper with me all the time, I'd be a different person. But people come to work. Let me go back to my rant.
Geez.
Then we'll go on to business because this is my psychiatry session. If anyone wants to treat me, I'll be a good test case because I'm all messed up and I'm in business and I got all kinds of stories. People come to work. They don't know how to use core programs. They don't know how to use Microsoft Word or Excel or LinkedIn, and they come there like buffoons and, how do I use it? What do I do? And I feel like saying, well, why don't you go home before you start the job? You know there's a critical computer program. Go on YouTube for an hour instead of watching the cartoons, and learn how to use LinkedIn, learn how to use Excel, learn how to use Word. So when you come to work, you come prepared instead of you're a liability. People just are so lazy, and I don't even think they think about that. But
part of the onus also, Jack, is on the people hiring these people. And
it's me. I'm a bad hirer.
There are ways to test the competency of the hirees.
It's me. I know. What can I tell you?
Take a deep breath, will you?
Okay. Let's go to our Motivational Minute. By the way, this week we're going to have a great guy who I followed. I wish I would have seen him or met him in person. His name's Zig Ziglar. He passed away a few years ago. He is absolutely unbelievable. So let's play his Motivational Minute, then put us in a good mood.
I think all of us at one time or another have been hurt because we've been treated in an unfair way. But one of the neat things we need to learn from that can be the greatest teaching lesson of our life, because when we understand that, of 300 world-class leaders, and I'm talking about Roosevelt and Churchill and Mahatma Gandhi, I'm talking about Helen Keller and Mother Teresa, people of that ilk, over 75% of them were either abused as children, or had some physical deformity, or they had some real difficulties in their life. But they understood it's not what happens to you, it's how you handle what happens to you. They responded, which is positive, instead of reacted, which is negative. In other words, when you get knocked flat on your back, just remember that you don't drown by falling in water. water. You only drown if you stay there. And you don't fail by getting knocked down. You only fail if you stay down.
Yeah.
And, of course, in my own life, I understand that the God of the mountaintop is also the God of the valley.
Yeah.
So we've always got that here. Optimism here is really a very important point as well. Look at life in an optimistic manner. The 1828 Noah Webster Dictionary never has the word pessimism in it, but it does have the word optimism in it. So don't go to the new stuff, go to the old stuff, read the definition of optimism in that dictionary, and you will see it's what you really expect to happen. It's been ordained, is what the dictionary said. Very exciting.
Zig Ziglar is the man, I'll tell you, and what he says is 100% right. We all have had problems in our lives, some of us more, some of us less, but it's really how we handle our problems, and we all have baggage, and we've all been knocked down on the chairs and gone through all kinds of terrible things, but it's how we handle them that sets us apart, and I would encourage you just to try to flip it around. I always like Leon, one of my favorite characters on Curb Your Enthusiasm, who always says, flip it around, and that's what you got to do. You got to flip around your situation. And look, the Kardashians are a perfect example of that. Who ever heard of Kim Kardashian before she got caught in a sexcapade or whatever? The same thing with Paris Hilton. You know what I mean? They flipped it around. Literally, they flipped around their career. I'm not, okay, I see everyone's face in here.